Good evening to our friends in North America and good morning to our friends in Japan. Welcome to the 21st annual Otsukimi Moon Viewing Festival, being presented in a virtual format for the first time and live streaming through YouTube. My name is Amy Lewis Hoffland, and I am the Senior Director at the Crow Museum of Asian Art, and I will be your MC this evening. I'm so honored to be here with the Japan American Society of Dallas-Fort Worth. 21 years ago, I stood in the backyard of the Crow home where we held the first Otsukimi festival, and we watched the moon rise over uptown, and it was an incredible experience. It's really nice to be here 21 years later as your MC, and welcome to our living room here in the offices of the Japan American Society, and we're happy to be in your living rooms. I invite you to have a cup of tea with us this evening. We have such a beautiful program planned, and so I'm honored to be here and excited to share this time with you across the globe. Otsukimi is presented by the Japan American Society of Dallas-Fort Worth and the Crow Museum of Asian Art of the University of Texas at Dallas, two organizations that bring Japanese art and culture to North Texas 365 days a year. I would also like to thank our generous event sponsor, the Japan Foundation Center for Global Partnership, and also our community partners, the Dallas Japanese Association, the Fort Worth Japanese Society, and the Sendai Tourism Convention and International Association. Special thanks also to the Grassroots Exchange Network Japan program, Cinema Story Productions that's making it all possible tonight, and Kosuge Productions for their contributions to the event. So, live streaming Otsukimi. Who thought that would be possible? Of course, first we want to wish everyone safety and health during this uncertain time. In our current global situation, it is essential that we continue to communicate across borders and cultures, as well as within our communities. Our program this evening is part of achieving this goal. In the next 90 minutes, you will see extraordinary performances from Dallas, New York, and even Sendai, Japan. Sendai, you might not know this, is the international friendship city to the city of Dallas, and we are very excited to welcome our friends in this opportunity to connect with everyone virtually. In fact, we have watch parties. It's 10:30 a.m. in Sendai. We have watch parties happening right now, so we want to say hello to everyone there. And as you can see on your right, you have a chat box to communicate with us. You can share your messages anytime during the program. We also encourage you to be part of our evening by writing a haiku poem, and that's a Japanese form of poetry. And I will read some of your haiku at 8:55 Central. That's 10:55 a.m. for our Japanese audience. So be sure to send it in before then so that we can include your haiku poem in our exhibition of haiku poetry this evening. And if you're not sure how to write a haiku, don't worry. I will teach you how to do that in just a moment. So let me start by introducing this very special Japanese moon viewing tradition. Otsukimi literally means moon viewing in Japanese. It is a Japanese tradition dating to the Heian period when it was enjoyed by the court aristocrats. Over time, warriors, farmers, and townspeople also began to celebrate the full moon, and Otsukimi became a harvest festival. We're lucky in Dallas today. We had a little break in the weather, so we are seeing the first sign of fall, which is one of the traditions of Otsukimi, is to celebrate the change in the season. The traditions of this festival include decorations on display known as Suzuki, and rice dumplings, I wish we could eat them together, called Suzuki Dango to celebrate the harvest. Tonight we're offering a variety of traditional Japanese cultural experiences, including a Suzuki Dango cooking demonstration and a haiku reading. Now, to share a little bit of a 101 for haiku. A haiku, anyone can write it. It's a simple 3-line poem, and it is often about the natural world, and the main thing to remember is that haiku paints a picture with words. If your poem presents an image that sparks a feeling, then you've done a great job. The famous rule, and this is if you want to be technical, but you don't have to follow this tonight, is a 5-7-5 syllabic structure. So what that means is that you'll place 5 syllables in the first line, 7 syllables in the second line, and 5 syllables in the third line. It's that simple. But don't worry too much about that. We've accepted all forms of haiku over the years in our various celebrations of the moon viewing. And when you do it in English, it's a little bit harder than Japanese because of the syllabic structure. But here's an example. Burning leaves crackle. Pumpkins grin near dried corn stalks. Welcome, dear autumn. So that is a version of a haiku poem. And then there's just one more thing to remember. When you write your haiku, you should include a word that relates to the current season. Remember, haikus are about nature. These seasonal words are called kigo, K-I-G-O in Japanese, and they lend a certain elegance. We want to write elegant haiku poems this evening to the composition. In autumn, you see pumpkins around you, so that's a good word to include. And since we're at Otsukimi, you could include the word moon or moon viewing. You could simply use the phrase autumn night. Milky Way is another beautiful phrase that evokes the autumn sky. So whatever says autumn to you, try including that in your poem. And I look forward to reading your haiku later tonight. And I'd like to just share that in this space that we have, you're in your homes, safely sheltered, and we're here in the beautiful offices of the Japan-American Society. For those of you that have experienced Otsukimi and the various landscapes with us over these 21 years, you might write a haiku poem about that memory of being at the Arboretum, or last year we celebrated in Frisco at the Star Center. Perhaps your memory of Otsukimi is at White Rock Lake. At one point, we had the festival at White Rock Lake. And so to those veterans of Otsukimi here in the Dallas area, I invite you to bring forward some of those wonderful memories of watching the glow of the moon rise over the Dallas tree line. So now I'm really excited to introduce Grant Ogata. He's the president of the Japan-American Society of Dallas-Fort Worth for the official opening of the 2020 virtual Otsukimi Moon Viewing celebration.
Hello, my name is Grant Ogata, president of Japan-American Society of Dallas-Fort Worth. It is my pleasure to welcome you to our 21st annual Otsukimi Moon Viewing Festival. Like a lot of things this year, this event is very unique in that we will hold our festival all online with safety in mind for everyone. This way, you don't have to worry about driving, finding a parking space, and coming home very late at night. The Otsukimi Moon Viewing Festival is brought to you by our sponsor, Japan Foundation for Global Partnership, with co-presenter of the event being the Crow Museum of Asian Art, which is now part of University of Texas at Dallas. We would also like to thank our community partners, Dallas Japanese Association, Fort Worth Japanese Society, and especially Sendai Tourism Convention International Association, who is participating all the way from Japan. Now let us all enjoy this very old Japanese tradition of having a festival to view the full moon, enjoy some Japanese entertainment, and to celebrate the fall harvest season. Thank you. ありがとうございます。
Thank you, Grant. And now I'm so pleased to welcome Paul Pass, the Executive Director of the Japan-American Society of Dallas-Fort Worth, and to the Crow Museum, a very good friend, a longtime friend. I'm here to say a few words.
Well, thank you so much, Amy, and good evening, and thank you again for joining us during our first ever virtually presented Otsukimi Moon Viewing Festival. I know that we all had an amazing experience last year in Frisco for the 2019 Otsukimi Moon Viewing Festival, and I'm delighted to share that a few performers were able to return, one being the always energetic Dallas Kiyari Daiko. This group is dedicated to spreading the culture and spirit of Japan throughout Dallas. They hope that everyone shares in the joy, power, and excitement of taiko. Prior to COVID-19, they were performing throughout the year for festivals, civic organizations, museums, libraries, and businesses in the Dallas area. Today, 5 members of Kiyari Daiko will perform for us. We hope that this pandemic will end soon so that we can witness their dynamic performances again in person. Additionally, if you are watching this program with a phone or a camera close by, please feel free to take a picture and share with us on social media. The Japan-America Society's handle on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, is at JASDFW, and the Crow Museum's is at Crow Museum. Supporting local businesses is an important part of the work of the Japan-America Society and the Dallas Japanese Association. Therefore, the performance that we have coming up for you will be followed by our first featured restaurant of the evening, Yama Izakaya and Sushi, which has multiple locations across North Texas. Please enjoy.
That was fantastic. I just want to say hello to the 311 viewers that are live right now and to those that will find us along the way in the recorded version. We're so glad you're here. The next performer is our favorite koto player from New York. This is one of the silver linings of COVID-19, that we can go anywhere in this virtual world. Masayo Ishigure. She performed last year at last year's Otsukimi, and we are so happy to invite her back virtually for 2020. After her performance, you will also see another koto performance by Miyabi Koto Ensemble, a New York-based group founded and headed by Masayo. Masayo began playing the koto and jiuta shamisen at the age of 5 in Gifu, Japan, and has created an extensive, multifaceted career that continues to stretch the limits of the koto while maintaining a strong grasp of the tradition. After initial studies with Tadao and Kazue Sawai, Masayo became a special research student in 1986 at the Sawai Koto Academy of Music. The Academy incorporates many influences from classical to jazz and aims to change the perception of the koto from solely as a traditional Japanese instrument to an instrument of universal expressiveness. Following the performance, we will feature another local restaurant named Ebisu, and it's one of my favorites from my hometown, one of my hometowns, Plano, Texas, which is located in the historic downtown Plano. So first, welcome Masayo Ishigure and Miyabi Koto Ensemble.
Hello everyone, I am Masayo Ishigure, Japanese koto shamisen player from New York. This year I'm not able to go to the Moon Festival in Dallas, but instead I am going to be sending our music online. Please enjoy it by Miyabi Koto Ensemble. So please be safe, and I hope I can meet you in Dallas next year.
Welcome back. I'm so excited to share that we have a live photo from Cynthia, the tourism department in Sendai, our partners for this organization. And so we want to say hello, and if you're in the chat, let's just go and emulate this friendship city that we are with Sendai. So these are our friends who are watching us in the United States in Dallas live. And so I just think that that's so cool that we're all in this together, right? So hello to everyone over there and good morning. So how many of you have tried Tsukimi Dango before? Let us know in the chat if you love it. I think it's one of those things that if you love it, you love it. If you don't love it, you'll try it on and hopefully love it in the future. Tsukimi Dango is the most traditional food associated with Otsukimi. They are typically displayed in an altar, and they represent an offering to the moon. Traditionally, it's made from only rice, flour, and water, and it is so delicious, shaped into a ball to resemble the moon. Today, our friend Keiko Suzuki will show us how to make a healthy and tasty Tsukimi Dango by using tofu. I'm very excited to learn about this fun and festive food and inspired to try my own. So for those who are watching closely, we will share the details of the ingredients, and please note that although the recipe is for 16 dango, we only display 15. This is because of an old Japanese tradition known as Jugoya, when the moon harvest was celebrated on the 15th night of the 8th moon. After the dango demonstration, we will share highlights of moon-related artwork from the Crow Museum of Asian Art of the University of Texas at Dallas, and that's with my dear colleague, Dr. Jacqueline Chow. So following the art presentation, we'll see a special commercial from Mitsuwa Marketplace right here in Plano. And okay, Keiko, we're ready to go into your kitchen. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Keiko Suzuki. I'd like to show you how to make a Otsukimi Dango tonight. Here, box of mochiko and silken tofu. You can purchase mochiko at any Asian grocery stores. We will need 160 gram mochiko and 192 gram silken tofu. Those makes 16 small balls. First, we need a boiling water. Next, I will mash tofu. And I will add mochiko. And mix. I knead it until it looks like this, smooth and nice. And I will cut into 16 pieces. And get the one piece and make a round. Push a little bit lightly and make a smooth ball. Like this. Once we made a 16 balls, and then I'm gonna put each ball in boiling water. Sometimes you move balls in the water, boiling water, and wait until starting float. See, ball floating on the boiling water. So that's meaning it's done. So I'm gonna get it. And nice and soft. It's done. We call Jugoya for the night of harvest moon. Jugo means 15 in Japanese. That's why we decorate 15 Otsukimi Dango. So first layer, we use 9. Second layer, we use 4. And top, we use 2. So any angle, you can see pyramid shape. Isn't it nice? Wow, looks good. Otsukimi Dango has blend taste. So we usually eat with red beans paste. You can purchase red beans paste at the Asian grocery store. Or mitarashi dango. This is mitarashi sauce, which I made with soy sauce, sugar, mirin, and cornstarch. Thank you for watching Dango demonstration. I hope you will try to make dango at home. Bye!
Hello, my name is Jacqueline Chow, and I am Senior Curator of Asian Art at the Crow Museum of Asian Art of the University of Texas at Dallas. In honor of the Otsukimi, or Moon Watching Festival, and in appreciation of the moon, I'm delighted to share with you today a Japanese work of art from the Crow Museum's collection. This print was generously gifted to the museum by the late Neil McFarland, whose daughter, Anna, was formerly director of the Japan America Society of DFW for many years. This print was Tsukioka Yoshitoshi, and is one print from his acclaimed series, 100 Aspects of the Moon. The series lasted from 1885 to 1892. Here, the print depicts the Zen Buddhist patriarch Daruma, otherwise known in Sanskrit as Bodhidharma, in a red robe meditating on a reed mat before a cave underneath a moon. The subjects of the print in this series are, as the title suggests, centered on the moon, in association with celebrated places, popular legends, or scenes from history. The title of this print, Moon Through a Crumbling Window, suggests that the darkness of the cave's interior that appears in shadow behind Daruma's head gives way to brightness and a world of light, emanating from the full round moon. The technology of woodblock printing in Japan began with simple stamped Buddhist texts and charms. From the 17th century onwards, a secular woodblock printing industry for books and prints developed, and by the mid-18th century, the technology permitted multicolor printing. Prints, independent sheets and images in series, were affordable to the country's increasingly literate urban population. The primary genres of these ukiyo-e, literally meaning pictures of the floating world, featured women of the pleasure quarters, kabuki actors, figures from popular lore, famous places, and later landscapes. Thank you for sharing this art viewing moment with us, and from all of us here at the Crow Museum of Asian Art, we wish you a very happy Moon Viewing Festival.
三つは
So wonderful to see the Crow Museum of Asian Art in this virtual space. From the very beginning, we've been a museum without walls. So thank you, Dr. Chow, for bringing the work of art to us this evening. And just a quick reminder, you have about 15 minutes to write your own work of art in the form of a haiku. And I'll start sharing. We already have some here that have come in, and I love what we've seen in the chat on YouTube, so thank you for that. I also should mention that we have a nice Baylor contingency here this evening from the Baylor Japanese class. And I also want to say hello to my students from the University of Texas at Dallas who are watching. So thank you for being here. And so if you haven't written your haiku yet, it's a good time to start. And you can place them in the chat box, and then I will share them here for the world. And it's also a good time to pour a cup of tea if you haven't done that yet, so you can start the tea kettle. Our next performance in this gallery of beautiful Japanese culture and expression is from Sendai. So this is our Japanese International Friendship City, and students from the Miyagi Prefecture, Miyagi First Senior High School's Calligraphy Club will show us a really special performance. The Japan America Society was planning, as we had so many plans this year, was planning to send 6 high school students to Sendai earlier this year. Although, as you can imagine, unfortunately, the program was canceled due to COVID-19. But this will be a great way to reconnect with the city of Sendai and its promising young generation. Following the performance, we will see a promotional video from Sushi Saki, another favorite restaurant right here in Richardson, Texas. So please enjoy.
Hello everyone. We are members of Calligraphy Club at Miyagi First Senior High School in Sendai. Do you know calligraphy? It is a traditional Japanese press writing art. Some might imagine that when we perform, we sit on the floor and write quietly by ourselves. This time, we are going to show you not that kind of calligraphy. We will show you shadow performance, calligraphy performance.
We create our work together using a big brush, a piece of huge paper, and dynamic movements like dancing. If we want to create a wonderful art with our members all together, we need to deepen our bond too. So we always have a good time together. The work you see from now is a story about fireworks in Japan. Fireworks is one of the features of summer in Japan.
Please enjoy it!
Let's take a moment and look quickly outside. Here in Dallas, we're right at the moment where the moon should be rising. So would love for you to take a moment and mindfully sort of take that all in. This event is when you're outside and experiencing the rising moon. It really is a sacred moment. It's something that is anticipated, and I encourage you to just take a breath as you see the moon coming up over the Dallas horizon here in North Texas. And if you take a photo, That's so great as well. Would love for you to capture it and place it on our Facebook page with the Crow Museum of Asian Art or the Japan America Society Facebook page. And those two handles are, and then hashtag Otsukimi. So our handle is Crow Museum, CROW Museum. And then Japan American Society is at JASDFW. And please share those on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And that way we will create this virtual gallery of the moon as it's rising in real time. So I would love for you to do that. The next performer is Sho Asano, our special guest for the evening. You could say the headliner. A professional Tsugaru Shamisen player from Sendai. He has been sharing the beauty of Tsugaru's Shamisen music with the world since he was 7 years old. He's also part of the Beyond 2020 project that has received official recognition from the Japanese government. Please welcome Sho Asano.
Hello! Thank you all for coming to the Dallas Moon Viewing Festival. My name is Sho Asano and I am Shamisen player. I am grateful to be at the festival this year. I am also grateful Dallas and my hometown Sendai are friendship cities. I love Dallas because it is a city full of dream and romance. I have visited Texas many times to perform on the shamisen. The instrument that everyone will be listening to is the shamisen, a three-stringed instrument that originated in Southern Europe, was brought to Japan in the 16th century and evolved into the shamisen. The Tsugaru shamisen that I play is a very young instrument that was born about 150 years ago. I will deliver Japanese sound and music filled with Japanese love. First, please listen to Tsugaru Jon Karabushi, which is played in the Tsugaru region, where this instrument was born. Tsugaru Jon Karabushi. This year is Beethoven's 250th birthday. Listen to Piano Sonata number 8, Pathetic. Thank you, everyone. I look forward to seeing you again someday. Bye bye. ありがとうございました。
Thank you so much, Asano-san. It was beautiful. I saw comments in the chat on YouTube with words like phenomenal and amazing. This is excellent. I couldn't agree more. So thank you for being part of our virtual audience for this spectacular performance. Well, it's about 9 p.m. here in Dallas in the Central Time Zone, and you should now be able to see the beautiful full moon. Hopefully the clouds parted. I don't have a view of the east at the moment, so those of you online, keep us posted about what's happening out there in the celestial horizon. And it also means that it's time for our haiku readings. Thank you so much for sending in your works of art. This is truly what makes the Otsukimi Festival, is the sharing of perspectives and haiku. So I will read as many as I can in 10 minutes in a mindful way. And I want to share, we've had hot off the presses. These are coming in from the chat. So let us begin. And I want to start with Melinda Landek. Surai Koto, Aki Namangesu Mi, Hayako Heru. And this comes from the cult of Sengoku. Pardon me. I have loved the moon. He whispers to me warm truths. Her grace molds envy. And from Sendai, from Takeshi Igarashi, from Sentia, the company of tourism to Sendai, and from Sendai. Odangu wo, tabatai kereto, zunda mochi. I can tell that that one's about Dango. They also wrote Kotono Newa, Koko To, Dallas wo Sunagu Ito. From Judith Becker, Dallas Arboretum, beautiful harvest moon, autumn joyfulness. Good memories of this evening at the Dallas Arboretum in years past. And from Caroline Kim with the Crow Museum of Asian Art, autumn every year celebrates Otsukimi, the crow and the moon. That's beautiful, Caroline. From Tiffany S. The cool autumn breeze runs its fingers through my hair, cast in silver light. I love that one. I have a little silver light myself. By Diane Jones. Crisp night warms our soul. Alone and yet together, through fall's harvest moon. Thank you, Diane, for that. By Yi Prey. Corona Yue. Bokokuku no Haya Yo. Aki Ahare. It's fun reading in Japanese live for the first time, so thank you for understanding if I mispronounce. I'm being very brave right now. So this is from Mori, who is the Sentia Vice President, and hello to you and good morning. Yamano Hano, Tsukizo Akashi, Gojoro. Thank you. It's an honor to meet you this way. And this comes from CR4V3N. Autumn leaves now fall. The wind chills my aching bones. Harvest is now here. And from Amy Ikui. Mushino Neto. Koto ga orinasu. Tsukiyono Utage. And this is from Aya Magic. Milky Way far away, longing for home all the way. Wish cloud will take me there. I love that, wish cloud. That's nice, painting the picture for us. And this is Thomas Helm. Warm, this is one of my favorites actually. Am I allowed to have a favorite? Warm brown crispy bread. Beneath the gold harvest moon, I love to eat toast. And often you'll see a twist in a haiku poem, a twist of humor, which is well done here. So good job, Thomas. From Julia Wada. Never before seen. Movement, dance, calligraphy. Artistic Sendai. Oh, thank you for that. And this is from my dear friend Sarmita Misra. It's so nice to be with you in this space. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your comments in the chat. Stream through my window. Cast moonbeams into my room. Light up my being. Thank you. Thank you for your light, Sarmita. From Gianna Piroli. The chilly night air, blankets and a cup of tea. Autumn has arrived. I just can't wait, Gianna. And this is from Linda Austin. This cloudy night, only crickets seem to know where the moon hides. And this is by Haiku Diary. Harvest moon. Share elegant Koto and Shamisen. Peaceful breeze. It's a nice image of the moon for you here. And this one comes from my living room. So thank you to Scott Hoffland and Baker Hoffland and Edward Hoffland. The summer was fun. Time to slow down and start school as first autumn comes. So thank you to my gentlemen for being part of our evening. And that brings us to, I wonder if we have any more. Okay. That brings us to the close of this year's Haiku Gallery. And thank you to those that wrote and shared. We still have the gallery online in the chat, so would love for you to share your haiku there as well. And I do wish we had more time, but we have more performances to experience. So thank you for all of your submissions and your active participation. Truly, this common humanity of sharing the moon is what makes Otsukimi. Before we move to our last performances of the evening, let's watch a video from Taeyeon, our good friends in the Dallas Arts District. It's a very popular restaurant. It's been there, I think, gosh, 12 years, I want to say, and our dear friend Teach, the chef at Taeyeon. Here's the commercial. Our next performance, the one you've been waiting for, is Shakuhachi. This is a Japanese longitudinal end-blown bamboo flute. Our performer today is Jon Johnston. And Jon has performed in the Crow Museum many times, and so this is again just an extension of that gallery as a museum without walls. Jon received his master license, which is called Shihan, to teach in 2008 from his teacher, Stan Kakudo Richardson, another wonderful part of our Crow Museum history. Stan is the head of the Mujuan Shakuhachi, I'll say that again, Mujuan Shakuhachi Dojo in Texas. If anyone is interested and wants to learn how to play the shakuhachi, Jon is currently offering virtual lessons. You will also enjoy the song's connection with nature, which reminds us of the beautiful Japanese garden where our Fort Worth Japanese Society friends hold cultural events. If you live in North Texas and have not been to the Japanese garden in Fort Worth, I highly encourage you to do that. It's a wonderful thing to do right now with social distancing. So please help me welcome to this global gallery, Jon Johnston. Thank you.
Konbanwa. My name is Jon Johnston, and I'll be performing for you tonight on the Shakuhachi. I will be playing Kikyo Ginso Kyoku, which means Bellflower Song or Bellflower Fantasy, and it's by Fukuda Rondo.
The moon is so bright and beautiful. Have you heard the Japanese folk tale The Rabbit in the Moon? I want to tell you this folk tale while seeing and celebrating the full harvest moon. Similar to how in the United States, when we often point out the man in the moon, in the full moon, the Japanese and various other Asian cultures see the moon rabbit. The Japanese believe that the moon rabbit is pounding rice into a paste. Do you remember those ingredients earlier? So that rice being pounded into a paste will be made into the mochi rice cakes. Ancient Buddhist folklore tells of a virtuous rabbit that gave its life to feed a Buddhist deity disguised as a poor elderly man. Touched by the rabbit's selflessness, the deity drew the rabbit's shape into the surface of our moon, where it remains to this day. The tale is said to have given rise to harvest moon festivals across Asia. Can you see the moon from your window? Look into the night sky, take a deep breath, and try to find the moon rabbit making mochi forever. It's getting late, so let me introduce our last performer of the evening, Date-no-Mai, who will share the Sparrow dance from Sendai, Japan.
Hello everyone.
Okay, great.
I'm
Thank
Mai
you.
Tamura. I'm
So
an
cute.
active member of Date-no-Mai, one of Sendai's traditional performing arts groups that does the Suzume Odori. We are very glad that we can participate in this event. We present to you our Suzume Odori dance from now. If you like, someday let's dance with us. Enjoy watching, and we hope the event more exciting with our dance. Have fun!
Well, as time does pass in this concept of impermanence, it is almost time for the end of our program. This has been such a joy to be with you in your homes and across the globe all the way to Sendai. I would like to invite back my good friend Paul Pass, the Executive Director of the Japan-America Society of Dallas-Fort Worth, for closing remarks. This has been such a wonderful experience, and I'm so grateful to all of you at the Japan-America Society for putting together this beautiful evening and for inviting me to be your MC. On behalf of the Japan-America Society of Dallas-Fort Worth and the Crow Museum of Asian Art of the University of Texas at Dallas, thank you so much for participating and being part of the 2020 Otsukimi Moon Viewing Festival, the 21st annual event. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Amy, and I truly appreciate all the hard work and dedication of everyone who helped put together this program tonight. I would like to express my gratitude to the Japan-America Society staff, especially Director of Programs Madoka Leonetti and Genjay Facilitator Natsuo Tanayasu. Thank you to our sponsor, the Japan Foundation Center for Global Partnership, the program co-presenter, the Crow Museum of Asian Art at the University of Texas at Dallas, and community partners, the Dallas Japanese Association, the Fort Worth Japanese Society, and the Sendai Tourism Convention and International Association. Special thanks also to the Grassroots Exchange Network Japan program, Cinema Story Productions, and Kosuge Productions. Before we close, I want to encourage you to register for a September 17th Japan-America Society program on anime and pop culture. The following day, on September 18th, we will have the official reopening of the Crow Museum. We are very happy to have them reopen their doors and welcome guests. Visit our websites as well at www.jasdfw.org and www.crowmuseum.org for details on programs and events. You can also support both organizations' North Texas Giving Day campaigns, which are linked on the QR codes that you will see on your screen during our closing slides. Now we come to the end of the evening, and we hope you have enjoyed our reimagined virtual Otsukimi in 2020. We plan to have an in-person Otsukimi in 2021, and to get a sneak peek of what that might look like, what we can expect, we would like to share a video from last year. Have a great night for our attendees in the U.S. and a great rest of the day for our visitors from Japan. Thank you.
We are at the Simpson Plaza at Frisco Square, right here in front of the Frisco Town Hall. And this is for the new location of 2019's Otsukimi Moon Viewing Festival.
So this is kind of a combination, I guess a little of a harvest festival, but mainly it's a time to observe the moon and enjoy the moon. And we have activities, we have origami, we have calligraphy, we also have treats, we have things like sausage rolls, things from the local Japanese community, but then also we have dango, Otsukimi dango, which is something traditionally served during this festival.
First of all, very traditional. Original group is Kyoto in Japan, and we study traditional tea ceremony over the 800 years.
We have lots of music. We have the Kiyari Daiko of Dallas. We have brand new this year is the Cherry Blossom Chorus. And then we have a visiting artist from New York, Masayo Ishigure.
This is a great event for everybody, and for some people it's their first exposure to anything Japanese. If you're interested in Japanese culture, this is a great way to get an enriching experience and learn a little bit more about it. There's all kinds of things you can learn here.
Every year you learn something new. Every year you meet more people, and obviously the crowd here is diverse. Everyone's really interested in learning more about Otsukimi.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, if you're interested in Japanese culture, or anything about learning about the moon or how Japanese people view the moon, it's going to be great.
I would definitely recommend this event just because you learn about the culture and enjoy it at the same time. Simple as that.
We'll most definitely bring my friends again here next year. Everybody's been very friendly.
Just seeing all the people out, everybody's smiling and like getting together, Just everybody's willingness to talk is like really cool to me.
Our connections with Japan run deep. Our alliance is very strong, and the Japanese people are very friendly and kind, and so I think it's important to give people a taste of the culture and the customs of the Japanese.
Oh, I think because this one now, especially Dallas, we get more Japanese people here. I think we need to let a lot of people know what's the real Japanese.
I'm realizing how important it is that we continue to keep this tradition going and working with great organizations like Japan America Society.